wale gwila kenakaya mekuntaya lo kana kakwetusa mama no he metaye kenu akema mekutaya mekuma mekutaya tara kakwetusa mekutaya tara kakwetusa mekutaya tara kakwetusa mekutaya tara kakwetusa itusa yakema me abemana fatura Kambea meko awado niwe me haye wado ni me haye wado ni we pomeno haye me awado ni metaya ususie bwa fia kano kia besilo ususia jiwe be manade kumawo tanda kakwetu sao majina we kolone kamera unkumwe unkumama unkumama Mama, mama, Manina pamwe mala, Manina pamwe mala, Manina pamwe mala. Wale gwila kenakaya mekuntaya lo kana kakwetusa Como makunu Mary Benakiyama amuna nyagba karataina ebwa susie mama no he metaye kenu akema mekuntaya Mama, mekutaya, tara kakwetusa. Mama.
Makini is here, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, live. You know, in Europe, the people clap and they stand up. We call it standing ovation. In Africa, especially Liberia, we get money there to show that we appreciate.
I will die before they say, hey, man. I will die. But my servants say, me here. I said, you will go by the same. Therefore, hang on, put hang on to me. Therefore, how can I me up? For the say, I did not let us say, what? Only that you hate, that you hate. Now, I just can't. So they have been a poor man in there to show my faith that I'm tired. So I don't want to let me and the non-living. For me, I'm tired, so good, happy enough. So, here, this song to move ahead. See, you know, you go. Tell them what they're about, is young. Tell them what they're about, is young. They do what you
Are we together? Stand by you. Long time. I used to go by here. I want to on this side here. When you go to the accident, you will go down. When on the yard, when you turn to a home, the area will be better. Then when you come from here, you will come to that way. Body or body?
Nobody can take that. Get in here.
With the 15 polygons of the
Thank you, the next speaker. Celebration is being held at the renovated Providence Island in Monroe. His Excellency Dr. George Manawia, President of the Republic of Liberia, and Mrs. Weir, our platform guests, Chief Zanza Kawa, our orator for the day, chiefs and elders of Liberia, our distinguished ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. Your Excellency, please allow me, and I sincerely want to thank you for endorsing me at the MC, the Master of Ceremony at this program. Let me have my blessing, Your Excellency.
Come on.
Thank you. Let's clap for the MC. We're ready. Thank you very much. The honor of the program, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we will have invocation by Reverend M. Emmanuel Nimle, religious advisor to the President, Republic of Liberia.
In Jesus' mighty name. I would like for us to please stand for the word of prayers. Let us please stand. Let us bow our heads. Father, we thank you, we bless you. As we celebrate this day globally, we give you your glory, we give you your honor. We thank you for the weather, we thank you for granting us joy and mercy as we come to celebrate this day. Now, I commit, Lord, the program in your able hands. We ask for your blessing as we go through. In Jesus' name I pray.
Thank you. We'll now have welcome remarks by Honorable Len Eugene Nandi, Minister of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism, Republic of Liberia.
Thank you very much. Mr. President and the First Lady, Cabinet colleagues, other officials of government, Chief Zanzan Kawa, our keynote speaker today, and all the rest of our traditional people, Madam Alison Gonda, chargée of the U.S. Embassy here in Liberia, and a key partner to the culture and tourism sector. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to welcome all of you to a very historic occasion that is taking place at a very historic venue. The celebration of World Tourism Day this year comes as we continue to fight, and in the case of Liberia, continue to defeat the deadly COVID-19 virus. Yet, knowing full well that tourism plays a very pivotal role in national development, in countries throughout the world, we decided to host this year's event at this spot where our country was founded about 200 years ago. I would like to welcome all of you because in spite of all of the constraints and hurdles that COVID-19 poses to movement and to people gathering, we have managed to come here in a safe way to recognize the great potential that tourism has. The Minister of Finance and ourselves will be speaking. As you know, he will be launching the National COVID-19 Economic Recovery Plan. And one of the key pillars of that plan is tourism, how we can utilize tourism to affect in a positive way the GDP of our country, to provide jobs and opportunities for our people. So tourism is not a side issue. It is linked to culture, and it can transform our economy if we put into place the right pieces. If we can complete the mosaic in a positive way, tourism can transform Liberia. I was just speaking to the First Lady this afternoon about Jamaica, that has tourism as a key foundation of this gross domestic product. I think it's around, the last time we checked before COVID, it was around 40% of the GDP of that country. Imagine what we could do with all of the the assets that God has given to us. So I want to welcome you, and I urge you to listen very keenly. You are very deliberate in choosing Chief Zanzan Kawat to be the speaker today, because without our traditional people, without our cultural heritage, there can be no tourism. And without those who are taking the lead in preserving our cultural heritage, and at the helm of our traditional people is Chief Zanzan Kawat. So we chose him to be the one to talk to us today. So let me conclude by welcoming all of you here today. And we made a program relatively short so that we can all leave from here and celebrate in other ways. I just want to add that the private sector is very critical to the tourism sector. And we support what they do. We as the government will create the enabling environment, but it is the private sector that drives tourism. So we'll continue to work with private sector operators in the sector so that we can make our touristic sector settle in it. Thank you a whole lot, and welcome once again. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. We're so happy today to President. This is a new Liberia. We, the performing artists, from the traditional to the musician to the dramatist, we've got a place now. We're coming back here on the Providence Island. Your Excellency, I want to thank you. Just for the record, it was in 1982 going to 1983 when Dr. George and I met on this Providence Island. When I visited him in Milan, he asked me, Kiki, you remember the first time we met? He said, no, I can't remember. So I met you on the Providence Island. I had gone there with my friend Camo to join the cultural ambassadors of Liberia. He was here indeed. He came here, but because of his passion for football, he didn't stay long, but Camo remained here with us. I remember vividly. Thank you, Mr. President. I know your love for culture, your love for Liberia. Today, the people will know more about it. But we want to conclude it during your birthday. We want to say happy pre-birthday, Your Excellency, October 1st. And we, the Liberian artists, want to ask that we be the ones to organize your birthday this year, Your Excellency. And now we'll have, just before you go, a tour. The facilities on the Providence Island, under the platform guest, will be escorted by one of our veteran, Ambrose, former Director of Tourism. Then we will come back here because, you know, the ship that brought our settlers is to the other side of the Providence Island, and we'll have to host a flag of the United States and that of Liberia. So that will be done. Let the President and the First Lady lead the high-powered delegation to tour the Providence Island, the national cultural group of Liberia, to come and open up. That's our tradition. We start with our Lone Star, the national cultural group of Liberia. welcome the Covenant Nurturing Center. They will be doing something special, our children. Thank you. Thank you very much. But you see, as you are doing something in Liberia, you say in Europe, well, let me start Europe, America, in the Western countries. When the artists perform and you are happy, the people stand up and they clap, a standing ovation. In Liberia, our tradition is that when they perform and you enjoy it, you charge money to them. Yeah, you charge money, all the same. That's our tradition. And that's all. Thank you very much. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the World Tourism Day 2020 message will be delivered by His Excellency Honorable Lance K. Bangoyon, Deputy Minister of Culture and Tourism, Minister of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism, Republic of Liberia.
Thank you. His Excellency President George Manawia, President of the People of Liberia, For Excellency Madam Clara Wia, First Lady Republic of Liberia, Honorable Eugene Langley, Minister of Information, Culture, Affairs and Tourism, Honorable Nathaniel Maggie, Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, Honorable Samuel Toy, Minister of Finance and Development Planning, our chiefs, ladies and gentlemen. In 40 years, since the first World Tourism Day, much has changed. Demand for travel has increased. The world has opened up, allowing more people than ever to explore the globe and eat different cultures. Today, tourism is firmly established in the United Nations 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development as an engine for advancing prosperity, protecting our planet, laying the foundations for peace, understanding among peoples. Many millions of people around the world rely on tourism for income, especially women and youth. People who might otherwise have been left behind have found decent work and the chance of a better life thanks to tourism's unique potential. Tourism has suffered immensely during the COVID-19 pandemic. Some 120 million jobs are at risk. The impact could lead to a loss of between 1.5 to 2.5% of the global GDP. With this particularly affecting the most vulnerable countries, including small island developing states, the least developed countries, and many African countries where tourism can represent between 30 and 80% of exports. As we look to recover from this profound crisis, the safe restart of tourism is essential, not for rural development alone. The focus of this year's World Tourism Day. We have had an unprecedented opportunity to transform the relationship of the tourism sector with people, the nature, climate, and the economy. We must ensure a fair distribution of its benefits and advance the transition to a carbon neutral and resilient tourism economy, as well as provide opportunities for people. Tourism can play an important role in preserving our unique and shared cultures and protecting biodiversity and the ecosystem that sustain us. In this most challenging year, let us focus on tourism importance for people living in rural areas, so we can deliver and promote sustainable development goals that leave no one behind. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Minister. Let's give him a big hand clap. The World Tourism Day 2020 message.
We are about to introduce to you our father and national chairman of the Council of Chiefs and Elders of the Republic of Liberia. It's a chief that has done so many things. He served as a town chief, from town chief. He served as chief soul, and he served all of the traditional positions you could think of in the Republic of Liberia. From there, the 15 countries, they came together and said, indeed, he is our father. He is the one that will carry government message from the traditional and to our people. And this father, nothing much we can say about him. But then of wisdom pressing, then the reservoir of wisdom, he will come and tell you all about the historical line here called Providence Island. He is no one else but our father, our traditional president, and father of all the children in the Republic of Liberia. He is no one else but Chief Sansan Boto Kawa, the welcome.
Give me the present for I would love to speak today. God is the day that only place. But I want to speak small English Republic here. On behalf of the 15th country and the 15th country chief and elder, including our women and our daughters, we said, if the president of the Republic of Liberia being our brother and our son, if the one that we love, the one that we love and say it with all no fear, he is our president. He's our traditional son. He wants to tell our wife to call you as a traditional man. So I'm going to talk about the history of this place here. And we, that the poor mayor and the day people, we give you blessing to talk. So talk. Talking on behalf of the Liberian people. The small one that will be there, we're talking about we are our president. Thank you.
All right. Let God bless all of us. I
want us to just stand and have a moment of silence for the great chiefs like Jalalo and Baruan and the rest of our chiefs that have left this world.
Okay,
have your seat, please.
My President.
So, President.
Okay, I never been in here.
And our First Lady.
Okay, name representatives of different number 2.
And the strength of my own life, Madam Mary Mosima Kawa of District number 2, Grand Bassa County.
Okay, information minister, okay, finance minister, okay, America, same right here.
I am not forgetting about the information minister whose careful planning brought us here, the finance minister, our partners from America, and the rest of the diplomatic corps.
Okay, she's saying then that of 15 countries.
All of my traditional leaders from the 15 countries of Liberia. And all of you, the Cheche Pune. What I've come to say to you today, I have just come to tell you the simple truth. You have read your history, but there are things that happened actually, and I want to tell you. President, I thank you very much, sir. For using so much wisdom to appoint the assisting minister for tourism at the Ministry of Information. The land has agreed. I can see how she has beautified this historic piece of land. We came here for several programs. We're under the rain and the sun.
Information minister
But today, the information minister has sent forward his able assistant and beautify this place. We are so satisfied. For choosing me also and hearing from the indigenous of this land, I say thank you also, Mr. President. Where we are today, it had name before the settler arrived. This place, it has a name. The name of the island was Doswa. It's not the name that we have as Providence Island. Doswa, it had owner. And those people were here and defending this island for years. This place had a bush, a shrine for the traditional people, and that used to be the shrine. And the women had their shrine, and it was back to where you have the ship. There was a man who was taking care of the shrine of the man. He was a chief Zoe. He was the principal for the power of the man, traditional bush school. His name was Bakpambo. Yeah. He was the one in front of the shrine. He was the principal for the bush school for the men. If you are the principal of the power bush school, the traditional man bush school, there will be somebody in front of you who make all the announcement and you speak through that person. And the man who was serving as the interpreter, he was a speaker and he was a defender of the island. His name was Bay. But he was a nephew to the people who own this place. He was a nephew of King Zoduman, who our historian named later King Lord Peter. But his real name was Zoduman. He was the owner of this place and his name was King Zoduman. But when the pioneer came and he helped them and did a lot of things for them, they named him Peter. Now King Peter had a sister who was the head of the female school and she was the female zoe, the standing zoe of the female school. Her name was Jene Bomajene. Bomajene also, she had her deputy. The deputy, the woman's name was called Dro. Because she was so beautiful, her skin was so shining, so they call her Dro. And Dro means catfish. Those were the owner of this island. Now King Peter had the headquarters of his kingdom, and the headquarters of his kingdom was Gawron in Lokitan near the Bowman Bridge. That was the headquarters of his kingdom. Now the cotton trees you see on this particular island, the biggest one was in Gawron. And where it was used to be the headquarters of all of the traditional Pora schools in this particular region in the kingdom of King Zoduman. But when he came here, they never knew anything about ship. They only had kingdom that they used to cross with. They were just playing and maintaining their place. The culture was the living of the people. The culture was the one our people used to use to settle their destiny. But we had a lot of kingdoms around here. We had Saboswen, he was here also. He was the forerunner of the Madingos. They were here before the settler came. I must admit. They were here. I'm telling you to know that we know because our people told us from mouth to mouth. Before you reach to this position that I'm in, you should know the history of the country or the land that you are to leave. Jalalo, who today has succeeded, left some words with me. Baura also blessed me. All of our traditional leaders were here. We had another king called King Yoda. He was also a friend to King Peter. This particular island was a retreat for King Peter. Mr. President, to make us to come here, it's a light you have lighted on this island. You bring us back home. You have brought us back home. We are going to point our fingers to many places so that you can rule them. When the settler came, when the ship arrived, 1821. He said in 1821. When the ship came, it was Mr. Pei, Chief Pei, who was the nephew and defender of this island, the one who made the announcement that something strange had come. Our people gathered. Before they came, they passed Sierra Leone. When they went to Sierra Leone, there was another island in Sierra Leone. It's still there. The name of that island is some people used to refer to it as a place where God has carved the land. So the people have renamed it Shepro. There where they came from. Some left there. Our king here,
Ani mi ọkùnrin wa pè.
our people welcome them.
Wa kún wa pè.
They welcome them.
Tẹ̀mí sọ,
Where are you from?
wa tẹ̀lé tè.
And they talk about themselves.
Àdìdàbò,
We have come here.
àbẹ̀rẹ̀ nẹ́ẹ̀mẹ̀,
We have shapes. We have our friends and our brothers.
wa sèré.
They are there.
Kí àdìdà bọ̀,
We came to you today
gbàgede ni.
so that we can live together.
Tuyọ̀yọ̀. Nígbà tí n sọ wá gbọ́n.
Our people welcome them.
Dẹ̀mí ẹ̀wẹ̀nyẹ̀ ẹ̀.
Where the ship is built today,
Ọsẹ ma dẹ̀mí ọ̀tura yẹ.
even though it was not the place where the ship was,
Dẹ̀mí ọ̀tura yẹ mọ̀ náà wẹ́ dé wẹ́.
they landed from right here.
Àwọn president bá gẹ́gẹ́.
We carried the president to see the spot.
Ọ̀ṣun àdìmọ̀dé.
The old one was there,
Ètò ọ̀tí lọ́jì.
but we have age have taken it away.
Ìṣẹ́lẹ̀ ọ̀dọ́mọdé sẹ̀ wà nù spam.
We take it from there and then it turned into scrap.
Ní wọ́n yà díẹ̀.
When they came,
Dẹ̀mí mi ọ̀pìn àwọn àtẹ̀lẹ́ pín bẹ́ẹ̀.
where they were sleeping, they couldn't sleep there. Where our traditional people were sleeping, they couldn't sleep there.
Wà á bẹ̀ ní ìyọ̀dà lọ.
So they gave us somewhere.
Kí wàá kí n bí dẹ́.
And so they call on King Zoroduman.
Bí dẹ́ sẹ́dẹ̀ ló kúkú sàá bá bẹ́yìn.
If he didn't say anything, it cannot happen.
Àpé
He told me,
dúró.
he told Sister Thrope,
Sófìnẹ̀ kẹ́ wà dá.
they called the Sunday Zoo.
Wà á dé bẹ̀ yẹn yàn.
These are our strangers.
Kings bó sún ẹ̀bẹ̀.
All of the other kings, the Bosman,
Wà á pè yín.
and they all gathered.
Wà ní wàdà yé yẹ.
He gave them this place.
Dédé wẹ̀ fẹ́ dàrú yìí yẹ.
He gave them behind this rock,
Wà á pè yín dẹ̀rù dé.
and then they settled there.
Wà á ní dé.
They were there.
Wà á ní dé. Tiwọn náà lé ní yẹn. Ní bí lóyìn nàgẹ́. Wẹ́rẹ́ bí lóyìn nàgẹ́.
There was a well here,
Kà wẹ́rẹ́ ní yẹ.
right on the spot there where you have the other house there.
Ní wàdà gẹ́.
When the water they brought got finished,
Ní ọ̀nà yóò wẹ̀.
the water finished totally.
Ìṣe àwọn ọmọdé lè wá di àgẹ́.
Now they are the stranger.
Wà á gẹ́ nyẹ̀mẹ̀ dá wà á gẹ́ nyẹ̀mẹ̀ tó ní wà sọ́nyún.
They did not ask for the well, the water in the well.
Wà á yìí ní ọ̀bọ̀ yẹ.
They came to draw water,
Bàfọ́sì.
and they came to take it by force.
Gbé dá.
They got into the situation.
Ọ̀dà kíyàn.
He called the king.
Kíyàn náà wà ìbọ̀dé ní ẹ̀rí sá.
He said they should not take the water.
Dé wọ́n yẹ wùrù pa.
That was the first confusion between the settlers and the indigenous.
Wẹ́gẹ́. Ìta ni o. Wẹ́gẹ́. Kíyàn náà lèjì máa ń yíbẹ̀ kàrò jẹ́ ìpò ẹ̀dẹ̀ o.
When you arrive, I gave you somewhere and you built.
Lèjì àkìnnà yà ni.
If you have come to forcibly draw our water,
Dẹ̀yìn àbẹ̀yẹ ń sàbẹ̀ pa.
I'm going to take all of the land that I gave you back.
Ọkùnrin
He took all the lands from the settler,
wà fẹ̀ yí wà mú yín.
and then they went.
Wà á mú ọwọ́ àgbẹ̀ lẹ́yẹtẹ́.
When they went after 1 year,
Èdè ìnù lè dúwọ̀ rẹ̀.
in 1822,
Wà á dìde.
they came back.
Tẹ́kọ̀ tuntun bẹ̀ máa bẹ́ẹ̀ jẹ́ má àmọ̀yàn kan dúró yìí.
We own this land. Why are we yelling, forcing among ourselves?
Wà á yẹ yín bá tẹ̀ ń sọ́n.
And they hold them again and welcome them for the second time.
Jíwájú àgẹ́ wà sẹ́yẹ kọ́ ẹ̀dẹ̀.
When they came, they didn't go back.
Àgbẹ̀bá China.
We lived here together.
Àgbẹ̀bá Nyara.
We all were together as brothers.
Kẹ́ àní wògó dèrèbí àti àwògó ọmọ mà ànyẹ́nyẹ́ dẹ̀bí ọ̀gá.
All of those traditional things that we as country people of this place depend on,
Ọmọ ànyẹ́nyẹ́ dẹ̀bí ọ̀.
that is our indigenous things, this is our traditional materials.
Mo dẹ́ pẹ́sẹ̀ nù àṣẹ́gà. Nani dẹ̀bí ọ̀dẹ̀ jírí.
We have regained those things from this day.
Bàbí ọ̀ bàbí. Ní ẹ̀rọ wá nyina.
We were here together
Kí àní bẹ́ẹ̀ dọ̀ gẹ́rà.
and we played together.
Kí àdìrẹ́ dọ̀ gẹ́rà.
We ate together.
Kì í bí dẹ́dá o.
King Peter said,
Ọ̀rá kí mọ̀nyàgẹ́ ń ṣe tó fún yìí lánìí.
he told some of the kingdom is getting smaller.
Zoduma.
Zoduma,
Mo yẹ́ bẹ̀ sáì.
go to Beza
Yé ni rọ́bì.
and go there and establish your own town.
Kéjì ìmúlẹ̀ bẹ̀ sáì.
And then another person went to Besa.
ọmọdé
When he went there,
bí ẹ mọ̀ tí
he lived there.
dùnkún ọmọdé wa bu agẹ
Yes, the shape.
dé wa bu àbòwẹ
Oh, okay, the canoe.
ọmọ arúgbó yìí
One is there now.
gàánà kí ni àgbẹ̀yẹ
When he divided the land into the other kings,
ọ̀rá gbanyọ̀ kí n bọ́ fún ẹ̀
he said, King Bosman,
mọ̀ mú bọ́ bọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ mìíràn dẹ́yìn
go to Bobolu and establish another kingdom for yourself.
kẹ́ mọ̀ mú dé
And that's why King Bosman went to Bobolu. His grave is there today.
ọgbọ́n mọ̀ ayé lé
His grave there.
pàpẹ́sì káyọ̀ nyanya dẹ̀dẹ̀ tí ń yẹ dé àwọn nyú bẹ́ẹ̀ àdú bẹ́ẹ̀ báyìí dúró ká kí n bọ́ fún ẹ̀ ọ̀nìmọ̀ bú ọmú jẹ́ ọ̀pọ̀ mọ̀ ní bọ́bọ̀ rẹ̀.
Mr. President, as we are discussing traditions and culture today, we're going to make our children to know from this day. And we thank you. Let them understand that we are one. There is no east and west. Madingo Bosman was here. He lived here. His grave is in Bobolu from that negotiation for King Peter.
lẹ́yìn àdúgbò bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ọmọ bẹ́ẹ̀ wà tọ̀ pípí wà tọ̀ dàtúnyẹ wà tọ̀ dàdúró kàgà àrọ̀mọ̀ kí n bó fún ẹ̀ ọ̀dẹ̀ akọ àníyàn àdúrà mọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ wà kí mo wà kí tẹ̀ ọ̀nà kẹ́jẹ́.
Now that we're talking about tourism, what can we do as a people to make sure that other people from around the world know about these people and come and check to where they were, where they are, where their graves are?
kàbẹ́ mọ̀ kí n pírẹ̀ kẹ́.
The man who you call King Peter today,
ọwọ́ mọ̀ ní àgàbọ̀.
his grave is right in Gabro, around the Boma Bridge area.
wẹ̀nyí mọ̀ náà jẹ́.
Before I could come on this program,
emu ń bọ̀ ebi.
I went there and visited him and talked to the grave.
báyìí mọ̀ mẹ́rin mínísítọ̀ dẹ́ àmúnyú wẹ̀.
Mr. Information Minister, what are we going to do
bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mi ọkọ̀ di ju wo kàní mẹ́rin ònyìnbó blọ́gẹ̀ mú kí n kọ́ àkọ́mọ́ blọ́gẹ̀.
so that we can restore the glory of the indigenous people of this land?
èmi á ní bẹ́ẹ̀ dẹ̀ tí ní múlẹ̀ bẹ̀ẹ́sáì sọ́ọ̀dùmọ́ ọmọ káàgùn tẹ̀mí náà tí ń yẹ ọmọ kíyàn lò ọmọ yìí dẹ́.
You go to Besa, King Zoduma, send some of his brothers there, and they were kings. They were there. Their graves are there.
kí n jọra
King Yola,
bẹ́ẹ̀ àwọn wẹ̀.
what are we going to do about these people?
gbọ́dọ̀ ní àgẹ̀ mọ̀ nyanya bò.
This is our land as traditional people.
dàgẹ́ gàbọ̀ ńlẹ̀
Right to Gabla,
ní bẹ́ẹ̀ náà adìẹ
when they have come,
búrọ̀ mùrìn
our people put together.
wàá bí àtò blọ́gẹ̀ gàbọ̀.
Let us go back to Gabla.
àdẹ̀sẹ́ ẹ̀yìn mọ̀ nàgẹ́
Everything we have on this island,
àzàrò àtúwọ̀ gàbọ̀.
we crossed the river and went back to Gabla.
àbílẹ̀ wà ní kúrá.
We have the bush there.
tọ́mọ̀
Totman, President Totman,
rẹ̀jẹ̀ hẹ̀rẹ̀
former Speaker Richard Henry,
má dì sí
Mark DC,
tó ń wà kàlántàn
Topakalanda,
dé wà sàbọ̀.
these great Liberians went and joined the Sporus Society there.
ajá bẹ̀ẹ́sà jẹjẹ níní.
Now let's talk a little bit about Besa.
tọ́wọ́
President Topman,
bí ọkọ̀ ní gbúgbèmí
he went there with his group there. He joined the Pora also.
kí ọkọ̀ àdé kọ́tọ̀ fìdí yìí
He opened the cultural village there.
kọ́tọ̀ fìdí ọ̀dẹ́rù sí eyín de.
Nothing there again for us to remember.
ajá dé tó fún àjẹjẹ ní bẹ́ẹ̀ tàbí wàá gbé mu àgé dé jẹ́ dé àwọn onímọ̀ wà díẹ̀.
Now that we're talking about tourism, Mr. President, I think we have to do something about these places.
àjí àgẹ́rẹ́
Let's go right across the river,
dẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ wà pọ̀ yẹn abẹ́ mú ẹ̀ tẹ́
right to where you have the Centennial Pavilion.
àbílẹ̀ máa wàrò
It was a Senate bush.
ọ̀sẹ̀ wúrà
The graduation of that Senate bush is pending today
ebu ìlú ọ̀dí
because of when civilization entered the place and there was a little confusion. The place remained like that, and the Senate bush just closed.
bẹ́ẹ̀ mo dàbí àjẹjù wẹ̀.
What are we going to do?
Dabadala máa bà pọ́n yẹn.
Where we call Mamba Point today,
ní ìwẹ̀ wa black àyíkú.
that name has a meaning.
yóò tẹ́ àná wẹ́ mọ̀ mọ́ àdàrò.
There was a man who lived there.
ọmọ púpọ̀ yàn
He was a hunter.
ọmọ bìnrin yàn
He was a very great warrior.
kẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ mọ́ sátá.
Everybody he had there was Mano people around him.
ó
And saying it was a Bassa community, the Bassa people gave a name to it. They said that land is mine, by man mean manor and by me rich. So it's mine rich. How the whole place name is man by when we come back, King Gray. He said there was no king, there was no Bob. The man who was there as the leader of that place, they call him Bob Gray. Now the word Bob means sir. In English, you say sir. In Bassa is Bob. So if a man is so rich, he's living luxurious life, the Bassa people call him Bob. So his name was Gray. Gray means fine. So they say Bob Gray. That was his name. He was one of the kings who helped the settlers by providing safe drinking water. He used to help them with foods, like fruits. And so the settlers say, you need Bobby. They say your name Bob Gray. Yeah. So our names have been missing. Those names were all traditional names. This land, we own it. The thing you don't own. There was a herbalist right across the river. He said we hear Monserrato, but there's something that comes to my mind when I hear Monserrato, and then I think of that history that my forefather gave me. Every time you bring patient to him or you bring a problem, he will ask for one chicken. Every time you go to him, the first thing he asks for to perform his ritual is bring me one chicken. When they came and then they went there, the traditional people went to understand when they had done everything. He told them, he said, you bring one chicken. When they heard it, now he said what he's trying to say is that in Yansodwalo mean in Bassa is bring me one chicken, being Mosodwalo. I want one chicken. I want one chicken. So his whole clan was Mosodwalo. So maybe that name the white the settler tried to connect and they said Mosodwalo country. So the name Monserrato, it is Mosodwalo. I want only one chicken to make your medicine. And so they draw there from there. Yeah. So this line, Mr. President, and our strangers, and our chiefs, we can fight over this place. Whosoever knows somewhere is the person who have to take care of that place. If you say, I welcome you, anybody you welcome is somebody you know. So if we are talking about this country, we can explain. We know it. To call us today, Mr. President, to restore this glory that we lost a long time. God will richly bless you. The same thing when I know where to Abudo. Everything that is happening, listen to us, please. We own this land. You are not a stranger in this country. Your mother from Red River says. You are also part of the Bassa people that own this place.
Okay, glory am yaro.
We and the crew are the same. Your father for grand crew.
Mo pastor we mo crew.
You pastor and you crew.
Pastor the crew yaro.
Pastor and crew are the same.
That's a wrong way.
What he lost? Nothing lost.
Mo ye kema mo ni.
If you are going to Cape Mount,
Ni oja bo mo aduare piso we.
the river, the Piso,
Ni no soboni.
that was not the name.
Ni no soboni.
There was no river there. There was no lake there.
Dem an na ni bana.
There were just a place.
Na di mo point ngabo.
Birds used to go and play there.
Kele bo no asre ke ni be ga dia there.
And God, our forefather, told us the legend that the river came there by a way. The lake came there by a way. How can we prepare that place and put the story so that people can travel from across the world and come and see that place and listen to the story? All of our traditional materials is supposed to be here. That's where all of them are supposed to be. He's saying that there are all those artifacts within the museum. I want you to make this place the place that everybody will come and see those things, because this is the beginning of the culture and tradition of this country. And if you come to that gate,
the information of more there when you know.
You're going to pay certain things to enter. That's how we're going to generate money for our traditional people in this country. That we love this country. All of the cotton tree you see here, all of them were planted with names. The first one that is standing there, when Job died, the beautiful woman who was a deputy Zoe, because of her beauty, we don't want her memory to fade away. So we're going to plant a cotton tree, and that cotton tree shall be called Dro. The cotton tree standing here today name is Dro. The one that just fall. Because Pei was a defense minister of this island, when he died, they said they don't want the name to disappear, so they planted that cotton in his name. Those two cotton trees had names, Mr. President. Pei and Dro. Today, Pei is on the ground. If we have finished with this program, we want to replant it. During the day of President Doe, those say, I don't know what's going to happen. So we have to plant some of these things. There was a lady who came here and planted all of these last ones. Doe funded the project. He sent us 4 cows and we planted these smaller ones. King Peter, as you call him, his great-great-grandchildren are in this gathering today, Mr. We got our history from the horse's mouth. He has a shrine that he used to enter. When he go there, nobody going to see him until where he was to appear. Those material he used to use are still with his children today, but who cares to ask for them? Who cares to put them somewhere that people will pay money and see it? And I want to tell you, Mr. President, that all of the kings we're talking about, we still have those seats. They sit on their knives those swords they use to fight battle, and we have them in our possession as traditional people. But how can we make use of those people of those things as a people? I have them. They are left with me today. And during the days of President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, she said there's something missing. Called all of the 15 chiefs from the 15 counties chiefs. We brought those chiefs together. We came. She said we have done wrong to you. The wrong that we did to you, everything we did in this country, nothing is in your name as traditional people. What kind of street in Liberia is named after a traditional people? Though they were helpers to form this country, there is no Bozeman Peter Street, there is no Bakambua Street, there is no Drew Street, there is no Yene Street. He said, look, this place, this river you see is smaller from the up part, and they all keep together and join the sea. So the people that were living here said, this is do bot. It means the do river come and put the bot right here. That was the name of this place. They changed it to do call. We were here and have our beautiful river called Dane. What's our name? They changed the name. That's important. So what have we done that our name got missing from the history? Though we are the founder, we carved the history of this country. President Sedi came that day. She said sorry to you, the traditional people of this country. We have wronged you over the years. We took away everything you have that dignify you. And so I have come to give you back the power. When a government enacted into law the National Council of Chiefs and Elders of Liberia, so that the chiefs can be independent. He said, this power I gave it to you so that you can preserve the culture and protect it and foster it. So that you can interpret government messages and so that you can be a mediator between we and the country people. She gave us the paper right on this same island. And I asked her, I said, you came with who here on the island, Mr. President, Madam President? She looked around and said, I came with the Vice President, Abuaka. They said, your workmate. I told her, this is your workmate, this is not the person I'm asking for. She want to show me the police director and other dignitary. I said, no. Now you're going to hear you. I said, don't want it, I hear you. It's not part of the thing we're talking. Then she said, why are you asking? I don't know the answer. And I said, what I'm asking you, the answer that I want from you, where is the former president that traveled with you here on this island? If it was so, clap your hands. She said, I have not come here with any former president. I said, what happened to Liberia that we cannot see one former president? She could not answer that question. I said, because of our own greed. You don't want to coordinate. The strength of the country is those who have left the stage of leadership. You have nowhere to go. What I just said, the meaning is, we that was, we that were, it is we that are today.
See, I'm well. I know what I can.
We that were in the past. Everywhere you travel and everywhere you go, if you come back, you meet us here.
Ding.
Gola, we own this place. We started this with all of the other tribes. They are not strangers. When the woman gave us back this power, Mr. President, we hold on to it. Our chiefs are in the bush. They call our bushmaster. This is the land that we have and the power that we present before our brothers came. The people said they picked first on us, they wronged us. They have given us the right. They gave us the power. And then our bushmaster spoke over this power. This power, we're going to work with this to help government. So that we can help you, help us. Since this time, we saw another people. Another people came and they said the power we gave you people during the other time, we not take it from you again. At the time, the minister now was deputy minister at the time. Why you will give something to your fathers and they go to their bushmaster and say something on it and perform their traditional rituals on it, and then you change it again? We want to work with these people and help you, sir. We want to work with you. If you call us here today, we want you to help us so that we can help you to select and locate all of those traditional sites so that we can work with it, sir. It's going to bring funding to this country. It's going to glorify us and the future of our children. Today, if you can think and you bring us here, the land say, we'll work with you. Yeah. So for this reason, those that plan this unique program and call me here to talk. This place is Doswa. They met us here. And so today we are all like this. To bring us back home. Even better, or get a face, better blood nowhere, because bro say cut up there, or say bro. So that you can help us to locate those places that I said previously, with the help of the information minister, because a country that has no culture is doomed to fall. The last one that I just want to say, the seat that you are sitting in as a president, the seat that we gave you, we put you in that seat. We gave you that seat. Every politician in this country now to come hereafter, if you want to be president, is for that seat. Don't play with small snake. Nobody can play with small snake. If we give somebody power, if we say you president or you leader, but the same president that President Totmo was, the same president that Totmo used to be, J.J. Rowett, the same president you are today. Can you in this country we had a law that was backing the decency of our culture. If you're walking in the street and insult publicly, there is a penalty. What's wrong with those laws? So from that day to day, the seat you are in, anybody who is a member, he's a citizen of this country and knows very well that seat is the most powerful, the most dignified seat in this country. Anybody traditionally with power vested in me as chairman of the Traditional Council of Liberia, anybody that publicly insult that chair you sit in will be dealt with by the traditional people of this country. And because of this, Mr. President, before I end what I'm saying, we say again, we are asking you, when a man go in another man's home, the glory that he possesses in his home is no more with him. So there, because of this reason, all of you, the lawmakers, the money that build the mansion, the renovation of the mansion, the money that is there should not be bigger than the one that built the mansion. For that reason, can you please stand? Bati. For this reason, the mansion is your home. You have to go back home. If they don't finish, the traditional people will finish it traditionally. We are saying, go back home. You own it. That's why we put you in that seat. If you don't go there, son, we'll go there. We, the traditional people, will go there. We and you will go, we will escort you. And we say, the war is over. Come back home. Your home is the mansion. If you in the mansion, your glory will double. We are saying, Mr. President, these are your people. We own this country. We give it to you. We are behind you. Say, say, my father say I should go back home. Let God bless all of us. Thank you, Lord.
So we pass the microphone over to the protocol to introduce the president.
Madam First Lady, members of the House of Representatives, Madam Acting Dean and members of the Cabinet, members of the Diplomatic Corps present, Chief Zanza Kawa and our traditional leaders, officials of government, students and youth groups present, members of the Fourth Estate, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I have the distinguished pleasure and singular honor to introduce and invite for a special message His Excellency Dr. George Manawia, President of the Republic.
Madam Claudia, First Lady of the Republic of Liberia, members of the House of Representatives, members of the Senate, the Dawn and members of the Diplomatic Corps, the acting dean and members of the Cabinet, bishops, prelates, and members of the clergy, officials of government, heads and members of political parties here present, chiefs and traditional leaders, local and international development partners, political and business leaders, distinguished personalities, our visiting queens, and our no-shaking mama and the Crusader Band. Ladies and gentlemen, well, first of all, let me, since time is fast spent, let me wish everyone here a World Tourism Day. I wish you all the best today. I got a full test here, but I think our guest speaker, Chief Ganga Kawa, spoke very well, and I added my time to his time so he can give me insights of the island. You see that the difference between he and myself, he know the history, and because he was born before me. So I will not take away this wonderful, insightful speech and informative one. I want to say thank you, Zanzakawa. I just want to use the occasion to thank Minister Eugene Namwe and Princess for making sure that we go back to our drawing board to make the place what it's supposed to be. I want to thank our partners that are doing everything to make sure that we restore the value and dignity of this powerless island. Madam Allison, I want to thank you personally for always being there with us. And I want to thank the British Ambassador, my good friend. Good to see you. But let me just say a word or two, then I will leave this podium. You see, history is good. And I'm glad that my good friend KK Kekula Kamara is the MC here today. That's the Malawala Balawala there. You know, KK forgot to let you know that in 1982 we came here to join the cultural ambassador. And we are from Gibraltar. We got on the island, we saw a cultural teacher called Kakwe. We met KK, we came to join the cultural troupe to dance. Some of us that couldn't dance were not on the list. The people that us were not on the list. You see, he was looking for specific, not just who can dance, but you have to dance a certain dance, or cultural dance. You have to what? It used to be bake, you got a big bake, you split over, you just name it. At that time, I was too tall. So it was difficult to flip over. But I remain a good fan of the cultural ambassador here on the island. Every time my good friend Felicia come here to dance, I wash, I dance in the corner to do my steps. And I remember the step, the last step they taught us. Maybe I can display it. And that's the only step that I know. I don't know which dance or that, but the female, they used to dance like that so well that when they dancing, everything can be behind. They would just smile. But in the life of Kiki and myself, you know, every time, why did one person get popping up to question me? In 1985, going to 86, he came to me again, say you have skills and I think you need to do something about your talent. I told him that, well, I just refuse to go to America. And he said to me, if you can remember, he said to me, you don't have sense. And I told Katie, I said, okay, I love Liberia, so I want to stay. But I believe that my life is not in America. America is the most beautiful, one of the most beautiful countries in the world that can change anybody's life. But I thought that my own life, going to Europe, was the best life for me. So I refused the scholarship to go to America, and I'm hoping that I'll go to Europe one day. But I had to exert myself. I began to work hard, and luckily for me, a club came to Yaoundé to take me to Cameroon. That offer I accepted because I knew that scout would come to Cameroon would see me. So KK, the teaching, I got it. But you see, life is just an open field. Because I went away, so KK also went away. I forgot to tell you that the first time he went to Europe, I took his whole band from the refugee camp to perform on San Siro. And it was something to see with Lucky Dubia, the best in the world. But the same Balawala that was struggling all on the island, he was there performing. So, just a bit the dreams of tourism. We travel around the world. For us that travel, tourism is important. I live in the country that tourist is the ultimate. They bring resources. I live in Monte Carlo. If you go to Monte Carlo, it's a royal kingdom. But you want to fly from London to Monte Carlo, just get a postcard of Monaco. You know what I'm talking about. I used to go to Jamaica. I just want to go to Jamaica, take a plane, and just drink a cold coconut water at the airport. Why? Because it was beautiful to see that people selling coconut at arrival. And all I wanted, so I would take a plane and go to Jamaica. With my friend at that time, then we become best friend, then we become husband and wife. So, tourism is important. And I lived my life on this island. When I could not dance, there was a little field that we used to play. And I would play on the field and then after come here. But I think we have a responsibility to our people. We have a responsibility to keep our heritage. The story today, we all have a mixed story of what this island is about, even our entire country. When I was young, during my time, they told me about John Kizet. I don't know where John Kizet. They talk about Chief Bob Gray. I don't know whether he comes from Kima or Vassar. So there's something was distorted about our own heritage. Today, we have to fix it. They told all kinds of stories. Just the other day when I was writing my speech, And I said to my speechwriter, he said, he named places, Cape Mount, the sea and the river of Cape Mount, the Mount Nimba, and then everything. I said, what about Sasta? Do you know about the Masno Rock? The Masno Rock in Sasta and Fidakli, Masno Krebe, it should be one of the 9 wonders of the world. Where at 6 o'clock, you see fire on the rock. And when they break, the fire go down. With anybody lighting the fire, that should be one of the wonders of the world. And that's the rock we go to, and then they see that the beauty of Liberia. So why don't you put Masno Rock in this text? And he said, I will put it there. So Masno Rock is also some of our heritage. I think there's Sasta is a nice beautiful place that tourists can come and go. But you see, we cannot be successful in tourism when we don't practice peace to encourage those tourists that will come here. Because no one wants to go to a country when they feel semblance of dispute and animosity and wars and what have you. And this is why we should speak good about our country so people can visit. Liberia is like Jamaica. But why everybody go to Jamaica? Why everybody go to Barbados? Why everybody goes to Trinidad? Or want to go to vacation? This should be the hotspot in Liberia, where the history of Liberia, the whole world knows, is the first independent African nation. And we have everything here, but we need to put it into use. Minister Nambe and Minister Tue, we had a meeting at Jamaica. You can see that name of place, Jamaica. It looks like Jamaica. And I said to Samuel Tue, that island, my whole life on the island, I want to see it as a tourist hotspot. We need to speak to our partners and help the sector so it can grow. Tourism around the world brings economic dividend, and everyone knows. Here we have everything. I heard people say they're coming from Batawi. When we go to Batawi, you know my wife and I, every time I go to Jamaica, everything I see, I say, well, let's from Liberia. Batawi is Dons River Falls. If we go to Oto Rios, where the water dropping with heavy force, people swimming in there. I think well, they think come from Liberia because one time Marcus Garvey there, they were thinking about coming to Africa. I think they passed around and they brought the same thing here. The Blackie mango, where would the either get a down on it? I saw in Jamaica, I said, oh, well, they think Marcus Garvey there, they sent the people, they brought it to Jamaica. So that was everyday talk. Everything I in Jamaica from here. Because and she would say to me, oh, John, you sure? I said, yeah. I said, what about Aki? Aki is Jamaican traditional dish. I said, oh, but I'm okay. That thing in Liberia. They plated there. So then they plated there. She said, you sure? I said, go to Liberia, you'll see it. And she came, she saw it. Monkey apple, all of the monkey apple. But do we eat monkey apple? No. But it's delicious, this is the most expensive Jamaican dish. So you start going for monkey apple now and truly good. Let us play more so we can use it better. I think Jamaica will come and buy it from us. So it's important sort of just to tell you that we got everything here. But we need to change our mentality towards our own country. You know, some of us that live in this country, we left this place. We that believe in the country, we came back to play our part. And I want to thank you for the confidence reposed in me. Just the other day, we came on the ground, right behind here. I felt that the Bali Island should complement the Providence Island. And this is why I'm working every day to see that dream. Because once the Bali Island is fixed, Providence Islands will be no exception. Because what we want to do at Bali Island, definitely the people will be forced to complement Bali Island. So we are working. In the years to come, few years to come, you'll be surprised that that bush you see there will no longer be a bush. So, Mr. Tua, I want to thank you, Princess, to help me make sure that this place becomes a hub. Now, Liberians, I want to say to you, what will make the place beautiful is for you to invest. You can bring your stores here, you can bring your tailor shop, you can bring your little shop that sells postcards. Anytime someone want to buy a postcard, they know it's on the Providence Island, they will come here to buy it. A lot of people that in the tourist sector, what they sell, you won't believe, but they are multi-million, they make a lot of money, multi-million people. They make money just by selling postcards. Postcards is one of the fastest business in the world. Because you know, you live here, Liberia, you go to a country, and you left your family, your friend, or your wife, or your fiancé. The next thing you want to do, you wanted to know that you're to the country, you write a postcard and put it in the mail. Imagine 1,000 persons buy a postcard a day. You are wealthy. So we have the wealth around us. Let us be practical. Let us be practical and make sure that we encourage people to come and get these things. Our guest speaker, he spoke about the cotton tree. I don't know if Samuel Twelve can do that magic, because I saw it laying down in half. There's no root. And I understand that tree grows by the roots. So how do we plant that tree back? So since you are the traditional leader, you all know what to do. So it's an honor being here with you on the Providence Island. This is our home. Mr. Tua, Princess, I want you to continually hammer us for the place to be restored. The place to be restored. Last time I heard from my own county, Maya Angelou was speaking at the inauguration of a president of America, if I can recall, maybe during His Excellency Bill Clinton. and she spoke about the Great Saxon War. A lot of children don't know this, about the Saxon War. So we had wars before. She spoke about the Saxon War, and I said, oh, so the four wars in Saxon too. You see, so I think literature, you need to teach our history. You need to get in the classroom and teach the young children. I didn't know that the Saxon War until the woman was speaking to bring Bill Clinton on stage. Spoke about the Great Saxon War. Then when I went in the library of my school, the Right University, I saw a book saying African American to Africa. And I saw the story of Du Bois, Marcus Garvey, those people that came here and settled. We don't even have books. If we have writers in the country, you need to tell our story. You need to write our story so it can be in black and white. Anything that is not written is never on record. So we cannot have schools and professors, doctors. We have so many doctors here that have doctorate degree, but we don't have books. We are willing to invest in books. When I went to school in the Right University, every professor that teaches a course wrote that book. You have an e-book and an actual hard book. And that's why he teaches you. So going forward, we need to put it in the right perspective. Children cannot be going to school and they don't have books. Every book comes from abroad. When we will write our own book, if you go do literature, history, American history is written by Americans, it's in the library. Man, Alice, you can attest to that. So it's not just the government. People are proud to be called doctors in this country. Doctor of philosophy, doctor of this, doctor of this, doctor, who plenty here, but we have to do the right thing. So all the children can be doctor, and doctor. I hope you enjoy your World Tourist Day. God bless you.
Mekuntaya lo, tana kakwetusa.